Hey guys, so these next two videos, I'm going to break this video up into two parts, I think. And I just wanted to put a disclaimer on them. I should probably put a disclaimer on all my videos, to be honest, because they're super depressing, but I talk about stuff that's depressing. And so if you're depressed, I don't really offer any solutions or anything, so I'm just worried if someone who is depressed watches it, they might make them feel worse. I don't ever want that to happen. So if you are depressed and at the end of this video you feel more depressed, I mean, you know what to do. Everybody's told you a million times. You gotta tell somebody, anybody, parent, someone at school, someone you work with, especially if you're younger. And I know how hard that is to do because it was hard for me to do. The only thing I could say is try that. And if you don't know how to, I will try to help you as best as I can. You can comment in this video. Go ahead, I'll give you a second. Just say, if that's you've tried to talk to somebody and you can't, or you can't find anybody to talk to, just say right now, just type in, ready, that's me. Just type it in the bottom. Click send. No big deal. So there, you did it. I just wanted to give you, because I know sometimes you think, well, what am I supposed to say, and how am I don't know this person, but I'm giving you permission, and I'm telling you what to say. Just say that's me. Because I don't want to say the same thing everybody says. It's like, oh, talk to somebody, and because sometimes I don't know what to do, and I don't know how I'm gonna help, but I have a therapist. I can ask her for advice. I'll put the normal links in the bottom, the suicide hotline or whatever, but you know those, and so just if you're thinking bad thoughts, before you do anything at all, you have to say them out loud. You have to another person, or even just start to yourself, like what I did with my audio journal. Can you see I'm holding weird? Okay. Okay, I guess that's good enough. What you're about to see is actually a little Twilight Zone intro I did, which is, it's bad. So just indulge the person you're about to see. He's trying his best. He's having fun. He never gets to have fun, so just let him have his little Rod Serling impression, and it's bad. But I had fun doing it. And enjoy the video, and if you want to talk about anything, or all you have to do is just say, it's me, if you're having trouble. And then I can even make it private somehow, I think. Or I'll put my Twitter thing below, and you can message me on Twitter. But I thought I should say that. I don't know. Maybe it's no big deal, but yeah, I hope the video helps anybody, even if it helps one person, and that's a blah blah blah, you know it. So thanks. Portrait of a boy who wants to be a man. Mired in the trench between adulthood and adolescence, he struggles, searching for a light of hope, but all he sees is the vast unending darkness of space. We join our hero now at the awakening of his unconscious mind, to the thought that there must be something more than the fleeting material comforts of life. Food, shelter, entertainment no longer offer a proper distraction from a gnawing question inside. What is a man's purpose? With a quarter of his life already come and gone, we follow him now on his increasingly desperate quest for purpose and an answer to the great questions of time, answers which perhaps can only be found in the Twilight Zone. Hey guys, So, wasn't really planning to do a video today. Today's Saturday for me. I guess I was going to plan to do it maybe tomorrow. I was doing the dishes about an hour ago. I got like a wave of emotion. And I started thinking of things to talk about, and I thought, well, I'll talk about it tomorrow, but then I just thought, why not just talk about it now? I feel like in the past, that kind of thing has always happened to me. I just get super emotional sometimes. And the way I dealt with it, I guess, is just to don't talk about it and don't think about it, and then it does just go away. The next day you feel whatever. But now I am, even if I wasn't doing this, I guess I would talk about it with my therapist, but now, I mean, it just happened recently. So I figured I should talk about it while I still maybe have some of those same feelings and thoughts. I was just doing dishes. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. I just started kind of tearing up, thinking about things and my life, I guess. My computer's being kind of loud. Sorry if that's annoying. But I'm going to keep going. So, when I was younger, I took for granted that I was never going to enjoy being around people. So, I never really thought about it. I was just like, okay, you're at school, so you're not going to enjoy it. You're at church or soccer practice or whatever, so you're not going to enjoy it. And then when you come home, you can enjoy watching TV a little bit. And then tomorrow, yeah, you'll have to go back to school, but then when you come home, you can play that new game you bought or whatever. It's hard to remember sometimes when you're removed from it's been a long time since I've been a kid. Even when I say kid, I mean even high school or college. My whole life has been the same thing the whole time. It's never changed, so I never really have examined it. And I guess maybe now I am examining it a little bit more, and what I'm seeing is not always the best thing. It's not always nice to look at. And sometimes you think, is it the right thing? Should I be examining it? I mean, before you were kind of doing fine. I mean, you weren't ever really depressed before. I wasn't ever really depressed before. Is it because you're examining it now? It's got to be part of it. So I guess, yeah, what was I thinking when I was doing the dishes? I was examining my life, I guess. Everything, I don't know. And I was feeling a little bit self-conscious about it later, too, because everything I'm about to say is like, feels like, oh, these are first world problems, or you just sound like kind of like an emo teenager or something. Well, I have comfort. I have a lot of comfort, like I've talked about before. I have my apartment, and I have my health, and I'm safe. I don't feel like I'm worried about being robbed or anything. And even if I did, I have some money saved. That wouldn't be that big of a deal. And I have food, and my family are still around. I have comfort. I've had comfort my whole life, and I do take that for granted. But I don't think what I'm struggling with now isn't the comfort. It's purpose. It's meaning. I don't think that's a first world problem. I think that's everybody who's ever lived has struggled with that meaning. What does it mean? What does anything mean? And I don't know. Even if I had lived my life differently before, would I be feeling the same things? Probably. But I look back on the past 27 years of my life, and I just feel that feel it getting away from me. And the older you get, the quicker it goes. Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me when I was in school, obviously, was like, oh, I didn't have any friends, and I guess I cared about that a little bit then, but now it's like, I'm 27, and do people who are 27 years old even have friends? I don't think so. So it's like, I don't care about it, and I don't think about it. And like, it's Saturday night, and not doing anything, but I don't really care about that. But I look back on my life, and there's just nothing there. There's nothing. And it's scary to think, when I'm about to die, 70, 80 years old, will I look back and just think there was nothing? Maybe at that point I won't care. But it's scary to feel things going by quicker and quicker, and to look back and think there's nothing. There's just nothing. I do regret it. I do regret wasting my time. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know what it means to not waste it, but I know that I am wasting it. When you think I guess I was never really someone who ever thought about any of this stuff before. And it's a way to distance yourself from feeling those things. I never really thought about it. That's what I was kind of trying to say before, when I was younger. I just never thought about it. I went to school because I was supposed to. And because the alternative would be what? Just sitting at home all day? I knew I couldn't do that. And when I came home, I did the minimum amount of work to pass the classes, because I didn't like doing any of it. And then I watched TV, or I played a game, and those were things I kind of liked doing. And then the next day I would go back, and then I would go to sleep, and the next day I would go back to school. I didn't really think about it too much. And then keep doing that every day, and I just never thought about it. And about a year ago, I got really stressed at my job, and I thought, I think I can finally do this. I can finally ask my parents for help to see a therapist. I think it's been a long time coming, and I don't know what else to do. So I did that. It took me a couple months. Last October, I saw a therapist for the first time. And I started examining myself a little bit more than I ever had before. In a real way, in a talky way, which is something you don't understand. I think if you're someone like me who's just never talked to anybody, you think things all the time. You have thoughts all the time. But when you don't say them out loud, when you just think things and you don't talk about them, they're much more fleeting. They come in your head, they go out. You don't really think about it. They don't stick as much if you just think it. But when you go to therapy and you start talking, and especially start talking to someone who's real, it's right there, about yourself and your life, it does hit you differently, and you do process it differently in every way, emotionally and whatever. Even if you don't realize it at first, which I don't think I did, but now it's kind of hitting me that must be it. Because I was always stressed at my job. I mean, the past year I've always been stressed, but only recently I've been starting to talk about it. And only recently I've been depressed about it. So talking about things makes them more real. If you don't talk about it, you can just forget it. And I think I would be content to just forget it if I knew deep down that I was happy. I could just forget it. If I was content, if I was fine with my life. But I'm not fine. I'm not fine with it. So I have to examine it, even though it is not feeling great to do. I do think this quarter life crisis thing is for real, though. It's a real thing. And I think that's a bit of what I'm experiencing. It does sound cliche to just say it out loud, like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what the point is. I don't know. It's like, well, duh, everybody thinks that all the time. I think I said in my last video, like, I want to be funnier and I want this to be fun. How am I doing with that? Good. I know it's probably silly. Anybody who's older than me would hear me say, "Oh, I'm 27 and I look back and nothing's happened and I just don't see anything there." And they'll be like, "Oh, you're so young still." I guess the depression comes from looking at the past and thinking, how could anything in the future be different from that? I know that's dumb, because things change. What is the goal? The goal is obviously for me to be happy. But I've only ever been happy when I've been by myself. So when I'm in this therapy thing and I'm talking, I think we're talking about, what makes you happy, and I think nothing. I can't say TV makes me happy. It doesn't really. It's not a real thing. TV isn't a real thing that makes you happy. You watch TV your whole life, and then you look back and you think, what have I done with my whole life? I watched TV, and it was what? Nothing. When people talk about depression, sometimes they'll say, you're not feeling great right now, but one day you will. It's just the nature of humanity. Sometimes you feel sad, but it's not all the time. I look back on my life and I know what they mean. Sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. I'm thinking something that came into my head. I talked about it on the YouTube thing once. A good day I remember having when I was in high school. It was my birthday, and I got my driver's license. And I had the day off school. So I drove to take my driver's license, and I passed the test. I came home around lunchtime, and the house was empty, and I think my brothers had left me a present or my family, my parents and my brothers bought me a game, BioShock. I came home, and I played it. It's one of the best memories I have. That's so sad. My best memory is being by myself and playing a video game. I guess that's what I mean when I look back and I don't see anything. That's all I see. I don't see anything bad. My bad memories are, I guess, when I was in high school, kind of atoning with the fact that I'm going to be this person for a while. I'm going to be this anxious person for a while who's not going to have any friends and is going to struggle being a normal person. I have a couple memories of middle school and high school atoning with that. You're gonna be like this. You're not gonna be like a normal person. You're gonna struggle talking. You're not gonna have any friends. Those are my bad memories, and my good memories are escaping those things for a minute, playing a video game, having some peace from those bad moments, which aren't even that bad. I mean, I never really had anything bad ever happen to me. But I do still, on my way home from work, on my way to work, I think, wouldn't it be good if you just got hit by a truck? And I think those thoughts come into your head because you're struggling with purpose. And you think, 50 more years of this? What's the point? Does anybody have an answer for that? How does everybody go through their day if they don't know why they're doing it? People must have an answer. Maybe it's their family. I do it for my wife and my kids. But even then, you think, well, what do you mean you do it for you're doing what? You're going to work every day, to a job you don't like, to make money so that your wife and kids can have food. But you're the one who initiated that life. You're the one who got the wife and kids. So why did you do that? I'm not really sure what this video is. Sorry. It's a rambly mess. I don't wanna be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of you and my peace of mind. Trying to run around, look about, and who I'm supposed to be. I don't wanna be anything other than me. It's such a dumb song. I don't wanna be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of you and ha. Ha ho ho. Ho 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 ho.